Stop. Camera. Stop.
Okay, hi guys. Today, in this video, this will be another one of these Uberduck videos. More about how to make your Uberduck audio better. The last one I talked about how to fix mispronunciations of words and how to change the speed to make it more understandable. Because sometimes Uberduck voices go kind of fast, so we want to slow it down, especially for people that can't understand it. Well, in this video, I'll be covering why Uberduck voices have strokes and how to fix it. Most of the people that watch these videos, like the VeggieTales having strokes compilations or the making rappers like have strokes, I don't know what I'm talking about. But for people that don't know, it's whenever the character is like hi, especially with like my Barney the Dinosaur one, he was rather than saying his whole sentence like, "Hi, I'm Barney the Dinosaur and I'd like to play with the toy fanatic. I like him, don't you?" He was like, "Hi, I'm Barney the Dinosaur and I like the." The reason it does that is because the first thing
Stop.
is I had it set to, if you don't have any punctuation there, if without any new lines and stuff, like, the new line key that's on the computer, if you hit enter, it goes to a new line. If there are no new lines in the sentence, there is a 30-second timer on there that cuts it off after a certain period of time, and which I'm guessing they did that is because whenever it does have that little like stutter mess up, I've noticed whenever it does that, it just gets stuck, like it'll just keep going. So without the timer, there would be no way for it to, if it did mess up, then there'd be no way for it to just stop, because it would just keep going and going, and you would end up with this whole hour-long audio file for one, and it could break Uberduck's server for two, so they had to come up with a way to prevent it from crashing like that, especially if the AI didn't know when to stop. So they had to include that timer that will cut it off after a short amount of time, because if it becomes after 30 seconds, the audio will just stop. And that is so that way the stroke doesn't go on for too long. But to fix that, cause some of the voices on Uberduck are really great, and some of them they don't sound so good. They are working on improving some of them, improving some of the voices. I did see an improved version of Barney on there, so whoever decided to improve the Barney voice, I thank you sincerely, because, I could make Barney say some stuff, and before he used to like mess up, so whoever made it, and whoever improved the Barney voice, I really give you some credit. But for voices that haven't been improved yet, to make it, talk without having a stroke, you have to hit the enter button on your computer, which makes it do a new line every so often. Like, especially typing in like a news article or something like that, you have to hit the new line button. So, for example, like, I could be like, "Hi, I'm Barney the Dinosaur." A new line, "and I like to play with the toy fanatic." New line, "Me and the toy fanatic have so much fun together, and we like to fix broken toys." New line, "and I'd like to hang out with some of my other friends too, like the toy collector of Seville." New line. Just put new lines every so often. But some voices you won't need to do that with. But especially with the 30-second timer thing comes into place, is because all voices can be overloaded. I've overloaded even the best voice models on YouTube, and not YouTube, Uberduck. I've overloaded the best voice models, and they can have strokes too, but especially the ones that are not that good. Putting a new line in there, just helps it, because what it's doing is it's grouping it into multiple files and just synthesizing it as one. So, and it groups it like that to make it easier to pronounce. And the new line, whenever you put a new line, that basically tells the AI like new audio file. and then it just like groups it all into one file, and makes it easier to pronounce. You may kind of need to experiment a little bit on when to put and when to hit new line, but hitting new line will group it up enough that it can pronounce words correctly and not have a stroke. And they, like I said, they have a stroke because the timer cuts it off after a certain period of time. But I've also noticed, like, if you type, even for the best of voices, if you type in something complicated without any new lines, at first it'll be fine, it'll just cut off. But I figured out, like, especially like those long news articles without any time, without any new lines, if you type a lot of those without any new lines, then it'll have a stroke because it feels like it has to read all that, when really, because you can't read all that in 30 seconds, so that will overwhelm it, and it'll mess up. So you have to hit new line after, every paragraph to prevent it from going crazy. So hopefully that video helps you, and I can't wait to see some of your Uberduck audio, and hope it sounds good. Hope it works for you. Bye, guys.